Anytime that we've bought a home, my wife immediately looks at the flooring and looks at the paint. And so because those are two things that almost always go, we're building on cement foundations, but we're leaving the pad floor as the floor that you get. Anything else above that's optional, whether you want throw rugs, carpet, you know, the stain on it, whether you want to go top of the line or just leave it bare. At $50 a square foot, that's where the build ends until we go with custom options, and quite a few people, nearly all, are putting some money in the flooring. We don't have paint on the walls. So when we get done with the drywall, they're sanded and finished, but they're not based. So when a person comes in, if they don't like the standard eggshell, which most people come in and they do accent walls and paint everywhere else, that's great. You're going to spend the money on that in a new house anyway, more times than not. So between those two things, the other major is that we don't include the appliances. I mean, things like a hot water water heater we do, but you know, your kitchen stove, your refrigerator, people can pick up good, slightly used things for pennies on the dollar for what they cost brand new in the store. But you know, if you're the type of person that has the budget that you want to get the best of that and put it in your house that we're building for you, that's okay too. We have people on, you know, both ends of the spectrum. But when you take those three things out, when you take a look at a traditional home build, usually 40% or more is what good builders try to get. So at $150 a square foot, a good builder is trying to put more than $60 a square foot in their pocket. And people don't know to ask. But the people that will see this, that have sought their own contractors and their own subs to build a custom home for them, they know how inexpensively a house can be built by the square foot. And right here, we look for good men with good reputations, knowledgeable builders that refuse to build something shoddy. And so for $50 a square foot, we're putting up houses that have already made it through several little windstorms. I mean, it's rare that we get a tornado come through this area again because of the terrain, but we had 40-mile-an-hour gusts, 50, 60, and even upper 70-mile-an-hour gusted winds more than once already through this spring. And our houses are still standing just as strong as they were, no cracks, no peels, no fading. So, you know, it's the builders that do what they do that make this a reality. Because we did have to swap out the initial group that started. They weren't really on the same page, and it was more of a paycheck for all the guys, and they did cut some corners. And because of it, we had to tear some structures up and start over. And that's, quite frankly, that was hard for me to do, because when we're so tight on the margins, making a mistake like that, it's clear that we needed to make up for it to move forward, because we couldn't put anyone in an unsafe situation. That's exactly the opposite of what I'm trying to do here. So God has provided for us, though, by making it up in multiples, by doing the right thing and rebuilding these structures, you know, out of our own, when otherwise we could have put some paint on the walls and acted like everything was fine. But these people that are coming to be part of this community are trusting us not only with their family and their livelihoods, but they're trusting us that we're going to do everything we can to help protect them if that time comes. And a roof falling down in a windstorm is just unacceptable, because if it's something as small as the toilets are clogging up, everybody that's been out here knows where my front door is. And for the foreseeable future, that's not going to change. So if these things start falling apart in a year, we would have a big problem, because my wife would not accept that every morning at 2 o'clock I have to get up and go, you know, clean out someone's plumbing because we cut corners. So that's really where it comes from, is that we're planning on doing a lot of homes. We've already sold quite a few units, but if we don't do a lot, we'll never make a ton of money off of it, and I'm okay with that too. I'm more interested in putting the right group of people together with this, because again, the bottom line is, I wouldn't have done this if it wasn't for keeping my family safe, so every member in this community is doing me a favor as well. And that's what it's more about than making a profit off of what we're building here.